Hello, I'm Heather Dawson, and as always, it's a pleasure bringing you the best of California every week on our show. So let's start off our show with someone who is a familiar face. In 2012, Ann Romney wholeheartedly embraced the challenges of the presidential campaign trail beside her husband, Mitt, even though she had been diagnosed with multiple sclerosis in 1998. Today, she is focused not on politics, but on people she hopes to help. Ann Romney's memoir, In This Together, My Story, has already spent 7 weeks on the New York Times bestseller list. Brent Weber had a chance to sit down with Ann Romney and learn that while her MS is in remission, she is working harder than ever to fight the disease and more.
Oh my gosh, they're up there too.
Ann Romney is no stranger to the spotlight. She's graceful, making her way through the crowds and on a global stage. But this time, she is speaking not as the wife of a governor or presidential candidate. She's speaking as a woman with a candid message of strength in the face of what she calls her greatest teacher, multiple sclerosis, which Romney details in her book, In This Together, My Story.
This isn't really my memoir, it's to help people. And the point of it isn't just for me to tell my story. The point of it is to make sure that if someone's suffering, that they know that Ann was really honest and Ann felt this way and somehow she powered through it.
Ann Romney is right at home in California with 2 sons and 9 grandchildren living in the state. And at every stop in the Golden State, she says she's been inspired by the stories of courage shared with her by the everyday people she was thinking of as she wrote this memoir.
It's those that are suffering from an illness, from a divorce, from a death, from bankruptcy, whatever it is that kind of is really rough that we're going through. This is what happens in life. And all of us will have our turn going through those really tough things. I like to say that it broke my heart, but in breaking my heart, it opened my heart for a greater ability to have compassion for others and care for others.
At the Ronald Reagan Presidential Library, Ann Romney was interviewed by journalist and another former state First Lady, Maria Shriver, before a capacity crowd and global video audience. Her message wasn't just about what she has overcome, but about what she says will happen in the near future as the result of work being done at the Ann Romney Center for Neurologic Diseases.
I feel like we are on the pioneer planes, and we're going to be marching through, and it's our turn to really make a difference and to really make breakthroughs.
You can learn more about the work being done at the Ann Romney Center by finding her on Facebook or visiting bhwannromneycenter.org. Bringing you the best of California from the Ronald Reagan Presidential Library in Simi Valley, I'm Brent Weber for California Live.
This is the time of year when we normally celebrate small businesses for all their contributions. But now, with tens of millions of Americans mandated to work from home because of COVID-19, having the right gear has never been more important.
You know, it's a challenging year, let's face it, but small and medium-sized businesses are determined to remain productive, even if that means working from home. And so I've partnered with a few tech brands to really help these companies stay on their A game.
And to stay on our A game, technology expert Marc Saltzman has laptop and printer suggestions for those of us working from home.
This is the HP Elite Dragonfly, an absolutely stunning business-grade convertible laptop. So the screen bends back 360 degrees into a tablet. I love the gorgeous Dragonfly blue finish on it, if you can see, so a lot of style. There's a lot of security built in, which is incredibly important, including the first laptop in the world with built-in tile, so you can track it on an app should you misplace it. It's got a privacy webcam shutter. So when you're not using it, it'll cut off the power to the cam. It's got HP noise cancellation for great audio calls like what we're doing right now, or video calls. And 80% of all mechanical parts are made from recycled materials. I love that. Prices start at $1659 for the HP Elite Dragonfly. And this is the HP Never Stop laser printer. So without breaking the bank, you can get high quality prints and get this, up to 5,000 prints out of the box. So So that hence the name, the Never Stop laser printer. And then reloads are only $16 for another up to 2,500 pages. Again, in HP quality. So that's less than a penny per page, and prices start at $279.
And when it comes to working from home, Saltzman says staying connected has never been more important.
A real game changer is what's called Ooma Connect. This is both a wireless internet alternative to a high-speed connection that you may or may not have, and a high-quality phone service with all the bells and whistles you want out of a phone system. You know, about 2 million businesses in the US say they've got poor internet. So this is like a two-in-one solution. It's both a wireless alternative for fast internet and a super clear and feature-rich phone service. You buy this system outright for $5.99, or you can rent it for $30 a month, and then it's just $50 a month after that. So again, it's called Ooma Connect. Great stuff there.
To get a closer look at all the things Marc talked about, you can go to killerapps.com. Bringing you the best of California, I'm David Wiley for California Life.
I'm Alicia Stanford, and coming up on California Life, we'll take a look at all the brand new movies on streaming services and DVD. As you all can see, I'm still working from home and really just grateful for the opportunity to hide my dark roots and put on something similar to real clothes. I have 4 dogs, and I'm usually wearing workout clothes that are covered in dog fur. Well, here's what you and your furry friends can look forward to fetching on streaming services and DVD.
Here we go!
Speaking of furry friends, Cats is now slinking its way into homes via Blu-ray and streaming. The luscious adaptation of Andrew Lloyd Webber's long-running musical didn't do very well in movie theaters, but could find a new and appreciative audience among at-home viewers. Highlights include an amazing rendition of Memories by Jennifer Hudson and Idris Elba in a cat suit. Meow.
You can talk to animals.
Yes.
Continuing in the four-legged friend department, Doolittle is debuting in home theaters across the country. Robert Downey Jr. stars as the eccentric veterinarian who's yet to meet an animal he can't converse with. The good doctor is on a perilous mission to help a young queen, and he's got a menagerie of mates on this mysterious journey. Some of the biggest actors in show business lent their voices to bring the movie to life.
There once was a young and foolish dragon.
And
name
now
is
on
Fahad.
to a different
Spelled with
kind
a
of
PH, so
animal
it sounds like
altogether.
Fahad.
Matthew McConaughey stars as a drug lord who wants to sell his business and retire in The Gentleman. He's got a taste for the finer things in life and an elaborate network throughout Great Britain. But it's a dirty business, and let's just say gentlemen's agreements aren't necessarily honored. Hugh Grant, Michelle Dockery, and Henry Golding keep the barbs and bullets flying.
Keep the door closed. Keep that door closed.
Don't like being trapped at home? How do you feel about being trapped underwater? Kristen Stewart stars in this undersea adventure that's combination disaster movie and fright flick. It's not Jaws, but it may make you feel okay about staying out of the ocean, for a while anyway.
Are you doing this? I know what it's like to be in the shadows. That's why I'm doing this.
One of my favorite films of 2020, based on one of my favorite books, is now available for home viewing. Michael B. Jordan and Jamie Foxx star in Just Mercy. The film is based on attorney Brian Stevenson's true-life legal fight to get an unjustly convicted man off death row.
There are some natures too lofty to bend.
Rounding out our wrap is Little Women. I could watch this Oscar-nominated movie 15 times in a row and never get tired of it. Saoirse Ronan stars as Jo March in this tale about fierce females working to make their way in the world on their own terms and under some of the most trying circumstances. As always, stay safe and healthy, and make sure to keep your clicking thumb in good shape. I'm Alicia Stanford, and that's what's in the Hollywood Spotlight now.
There's so much on our minds this time of year that not everyone thinks of their skin heading into the winter months. But the American Academy of Dermatology thinks it's the right time for us to think about taking better care of one of the most susceptible parts of our body, our skin. Brent Weber met with 2 of the nation's leading experts in the field of skincare and found there are new hopes and enduring plans to protect ourselves.
As winter briskly blows in, Enjoying the outdoors becomes more of a challenge for active Californians, which is why the American Academy of Dermatology focused on protecting our most precious of personal resources with National Healthy Skin Month.
It's so important to realize that your skin is the largest organ on your body, and it's also the most visible. So the skin is a great window into how your internal health is doing as well.
We're heading towards winter, and so we're starting to think about how can we take care of our skin in the winter time, and as well as our health.
Stolman and Alpert spoke to California Live from the floor of the International Aesthetics, Cosmetics, and Spa Conference, where the latest in treatment and skincare science offers tangible solutions for healthier skin today.
And that's what's really exciting about being at this conference today. I feel like we're at the forefront of some really new groundbreaking technologies, some new supplements, new skincare that's out there, but it all gets back down to the health of the cell. Healthy cells equal a healthy body equal healthy skin.
For me as a dermatologist, I view it as vital, and not only for cosmetic purposes, but when you talked about skin cancer, looking at the health of your skin from the cellular level is important for recovering from skin cancer and preventing it to begin with.
Number one you have to do is take care of your cells, and that's where ASEA comes in. The ASEA Redox supplement, 2 ounces a day, helps replenish these molecules that we lose as we age, as we get exposed to environmental stress and toxins.
To learn more about keeping your skin healthy now and in the future, visit the American Academy of Dermatology's webpage, aad.org. And to learn more about cellular health, visit aseaglobal.com. Bringing you the best of California, I'm Brent Weber for California Life.
I'm Alicia Stanford, and coming up on California Life, the story of a lone gunman whose story is resonating with home viewers. We'll talk to actor Kevin Makeley and find out why. You know, with the COVID quarantine going on, it's more important than ever to have books to read and movies to watch. There's a new cowboy in town, and the movie Badland is treating him good.
What's your name? Preacher.
Riding the range is dangerous and lonely work, but it seems to suit Pinkerton detective Matthias Breacher just fine. It's 10 years since the end of the Civil War, and his job is to hunt down former Confederates.
I always knew my sins would catch up to me.
But that commitment creates a conflict when he meets a strong and beautiful woman who might help him escape the ghosts that haunt him.
And what about you, Matthias Breacher? What does the future hold for you?
Anything that might have me finding my head on a pillow instead of a rock or a log. Place to call home.
I see.
Kevin Makeley stars as Breacher. Badland is having quite an impact with home viewers, many who are going it alone during the COVID-19 quarantine. The movie is now trending in the top 10 on Netflix.
What do you say we give these folks a good old-fashioned dime novel showdown?
Badland is the result of hard work by Makeley, who helped bring the movie to life through his own production company, Papa Octopus. This is his 5th film, and his growing reputation allowed him to sign big names such as Bruce Stern, Trace Adkins, and Mira Sorvino to the project.
Tell me a little bit about Breacher, because he's an iconic guy, but he reminds me more of a Jimmy Stewart type character.
I love it. I've said it before. Breacher, obviously, I'm homaging Clint Eastwood in that. I'm not trying to pretend it's something different. Normally, I'm a bigger guy. I run around 220, 230, weight-wise. I like to lift a lot of weights. I leaned down for that role because I wanted to fit into the persona of the gunslinging guy that you've seen in every Western girl. I basically wanted to be Clint Eastwood, like that frame. So I basically starved myself and, to get to a point where, everything looked, I fit into this package. And, so I wanted to fit the mold of Clint Eastwood, but he also, I'm an 80s kid. So I grew up with these guys, these action heroes. So basically, Breacher is the man with no name, so every awesome Clint Eastwood character, John Rambo and Luke Skywalker all wrapped into one. He's got the values of a Jedi. He's got the kick-assness of Rambo, and he is the amazing gunslinger that can walk into any room and, you know, give the stare, you know, and ride a horse and shoot a gun, that Clint Eastwood was in every movie. So he's the result of every obsession I had with movies growing up, all wrapped into one character.
Well, I hope you don't mind, since you're such a huge Star Wars fan. My husband and I were discussing, we're like, this reminds me a lot of The Mandalorian. And we were, you know, glued to that with the same kind of, you know, lone gunfighter, gunslinger kind of point of view there, and a broken man. So how, I mean, it doesn't really say a lot about how Breacher is broken, but how do you think he's broken?
First, I want to say that's probably the best compliment we've gotten on the film. Compared to The Mandalorian, I think The Mandalorian is, it's the best thing to happen to Star Wars, you know, since Return of the Jedi. I'll probably get creamed for saying that, but anyway. So, wait, what was the question again? I'm sorry.
Oh, no problem. Tell me a little bit about Breacher, what you think makes him such a broken man.
Oh, well, you know, I created a backstory for him that I don't really get into, you know, broken family and struggling and moving around a lot and, you know, being his own guy. But his biggest weakness, which is also his biggest strength, I think, for the character, is that, you know, he follows his own code, and his code, in particular in this movie, is justice. He follows the badge. The badge, you know, if you know, he's got the badge, and the badge says, with this badge, I'm bringing you to justice because you did something, you know, that warrants justice, or to offend the badge, whatever it is. And so it's black and white. If I'm coming for you, you know, Breacher's coming for you, he's coming for you.
I've waited a long time to find somebody to take on this task. Someone that did not fear the endeavor.
Breacher has proved such an appealing character that Makeley is working to create an online comic book focusing on Breacher's life and adventures prior to Badland. It looks like Breacher will ride again. Until then, stay safe and healthy. From the wilds of my backyard, I'm Alicia Stanford, and that's what's in the Hollywood Spotlight now.
And that's it for us. If you missed any part of our show, please go to our website, CaliforniaLifeHD.com. Don't forget to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. I'm your host, Heather Dawson. We'll see you next time.